What's going on, world? I'm Socrates, and you are now watching the Create Change Awards. And today, our changemaker here is named one of Fortune's top 50 world leaders. She is actually one of Time Magazine's 100 most influential people and been featured in endless amounts of publications about all the great work that she's been doing. I know you heard of Meek Mill, and I know you heard of Colin Kaepernick, who are internationally known civil and human rights leader and Chicana feminist, is the one responsible for spearheading the Free Meek Mill and the Take a Knee with Colin Kaepernick and the Pedro Hernandez and countless other campaigns that help create change in people's lives. She done this through her two state-based task force, which is named Justice League NYC and Justice League CA. This task force, what they do, they actually force the advancement of the juvenile and the criminal justice reform agenda. And you know, like I said, that agenda helps a lot of people that's in different positions, that's locked up and don't have nobody to speak for them. So there's a lot of things that she's done. In 2017, she co-chaired the National Women's March in Washington, which generated over 5 million people worldwide. 5 million people. So that's big. And I'm honored and I'm humbled. And there's more things I can say, but I have so much anxiety because of what she's done. And I would allow her to speak for herself, but I would like to present this award to you, Ms. Carmen Perez, because of all the hard work that you've done. And I'm telling you that you're needed and you are grateful for what you do.
Oh, thank you so much. What an honor it is to get a Create Change Award worldwide. Like, let's just keep it real. It's worldwide. And thank you for, honoring the work that we do here at the Gathering for Justice and Justice League NYC, Justice League CA. It's a little uncomfortable sometimes when people honor you and give you acknowledgement, because the work that you do is really work that you were born to do. So really grateful for the opportunity. Thank you.
No problem. And I also forgot to mention she's the CEO and the president for the Gathering for Justice. And I would like for you to take this moment and, give us a little insight on what was the passion behind the purpose, behind why you do what you do. And also give us a little more insight on what's to come in the near and far future.
Absolutely. So the reason I do what I do is because I'm personally impacted by a lot of the issues that I care about. And it wasn't until I went away to college that I realized that, the things that I experienced growing up, or maybe what my family experienced, don't happen to the average American. It happens to communities of color, particularly Black and Latino communities. And so at a very young age, I knew I wanted to change the world. And so that's why I really appreciate the worldwide. And it wasn't really until I lost my sister, and she was buried on my 17th birthday, that really became the catalyst that pushed me forward in order to find my purpose. I found it at a very young age, and I've been running with it ever since. So I started doing this work when I was 17. I initially started working with young people that were incarcerated, creating alternatives to incarceration, working with girls in the system. And then I met my first mentor, Nana Alejandres, who took me into the prisons and then introduced me to my now mentor, Harry Belafonte, who is the founder of the Gathering for Justice. But I can't leave out my Chicana feminist professor, who was the first person who introduced me to the language that I now really live in my identity. I used to be hip hop and basketball, now I'm a Chicana feminist. And
there you go.
I think, what propelled me to do this work is that it's personal. I was wanting to relieve the pain of my parents, who felt so much hurt after they lost somebody, but they always reminded me that I was to continue on, I was to continue forward, and that I was to do God's work.
And that's all we're here to do. So what can we expect in the near and far future from you?
Oh
and
my
all your
God.
organizations and everything that you do?
So I want to give a shout out to some of the other organizations that I'm a part of. I'm part of UJC with Rock Nation. Shout out to them. They always do phenomenal work. So there's going to be a conference coming up, a summit that we pulled together that's going to be coming up hopefully at the end of the year. We also have Poderistas. Poderistas is an online platform for Latinas to really find their power and harness their power through civic engagement. So shout out to them. Go to Instagram at Poderistas. But the Gathering for Justice we have launched one campaign, which is End the War on Children, that is being led by one of our young people, Luis Hernandez. Some more to come there. They have, he's actually brought together about 19 of his peers that are looking at different issues that impact young people, and they're putting together a policy agenda. And the Gathering and myself will be launching what's called the Latinx Police Accountability Network and Initiative.
What is that?
Well, there's a whole history of policing in the Latino community that we never hear about. It started back in 200 years ago during Manifest Destiny. The first act of violence that happened was when, America felt it was their God-given right to own the land that we now know from the West Coast to the East Coast, from sea to shining sea. And there was an act of violence against Mexicans that were living in those territories that actually owned that land beforehand. And so they used to burn whole towns, they used to lynch my people, and then there was the Texas Rangers that killed and lynched Mexicans from 1915 to 1919. And so there's been a history of policing in our community, yet there's no national narrative. We're also not counted. Latinos are categorized as either black, white, or other when they are stopped by police or killed at the hands of police. So there's no data. And so I'm building a national network of Latinx leaders that will come together in order for us to really begin to develop a narrative of, what it means to be counted, to actually be counted, to collect ethnicity when it comes to police stoppings, and build a database so that we can actually be part of the narrative when it comes to criminal justice. So,
fantastic.
More to come.
More to come. So I want you to also give them your Instagram where they can follow you, Gathering for Justice, also Justice League. Let us know.
Everything.
Follow us.
Yes, follow us at MS Lady Justice 1, Miss Lady Justice 1 at Twitter, Instagram, I believe TikTok. I'm not that hip. And also at the Gathering, you could follow the Gathering for Justice at Gather for Justice. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, I believe Facebook as well. There's also Poderistas at Poderistas. There's Team Rock, UJC at UJC, I believe, Coalition, or at Team Rock. And I work with all these groups, and I just think it's important for all of us to build collective power. The last one is at NY Justice League. Again, it's NY Justice League. So please follow us, follow our work, join our movement. Always, you could join our movement through the Gathering for Justice website at gatheringforjustice.org. Join our work. We need people like you. The only way we build power is people power, and it's with people like you who get involved. Thank you.
And then I don't think there's nothing need to be said. Thank you for accepting this award. You guys stay tuned until you see who we give the next award to. And until then, the change starts with you. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.